Welcome to That's My Biz, the Internet Business Showcase, where we bring exposure to products, services, and special causes of local businesses and organizations. Thank you so much for joining us. We are coming to you live from the BizLinks TV studio. Brought to you by Visual Marketing Mentors, LLC. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of That's My Biz. I'm Pamela Alexander, your host. And as always, we enjoy bringing to you the businesses that we meet while we're networking. We meet nonprofits. They all have special causes. They have great services and products. And we want to make sure that you know about them. So we have with us today another wonderful guest, Mr. Christopher Williams. Christopher, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Now, Christopher is the founder of Williams Enterprises, and Williams Enterprises specializes in business plan writing and success coaching services. The company is based on a principle that small business owners need to know that their business dreams are possible and also feel empowered to make their dreams come to pass. That's just a wonderful, wonderful goal and mission to have to help the small business out there. So first of all, let's dig into why you want to start your business.
Well, it all started when I was about 15 to 16. I stepped in a financial institution for the first time with my father, and I just realized that was the atmosphere that I enjoyed. And after that, I started realizing that, I'd like to provide an opportunity for somebody
Okay.
to still dream.
Okay.
And that's what kind of led to the business plan idea, because that's where it starts. It starts in your mind.
Absolutely.
And, once it's in your mind, once you can dream it, you can conceive it.
Right.
But it doesn't hit until you put it on paper.
Right.
So that was where I kind of got the idea for that.
Okay.
The success coaching thing didn't come to a little later, once I realized that I'm a natural talker.
Okay.
And most of everybody that I talk to tend to always say, I feel like I can make things work. That it's possible. So
Right.
that's where it came.
Right. Fantastic. So now Williams Enterprises helping the businesses with their business plans and then also doing some success coaching. Now, so tell us the types of businesses that you work with.
Pretty much any business. I've worked with, potential restaurant owners. I've worked with salon owners. I've worked with nonprofit owners. So I try to make sure that everybody's included, and if I don't know something, I try to do the best I can to provide resources of
Okay.
people that can help.
Okay.
And I typically tap into the success coaching aspect if there's not anything that I can't do for you. But that's very rare.
Okay.
So that's typically how I try to make sure I cover all bases.
Okay, so now, so what are some of the first steps that businesses need to take? I guess one, is it just the concept of their business? You start with them at that level and then kind of grow into their business plan, or how do you work with them?
Pretty much it starts with them,
Okay.
really. Like I said, it really takes them taking that initial step to say, I want to go after this. And at that point, I kind of step right in
Okay.
and say, okay, well, this is what you want. It can happen.
Okay.
So my first goal is to make sure that you know that it's possible.
Okay.
So once we get past that point, we kind of start a lot of brainstorming, just to make sure that we're fine-tuning where they want to be. A lot of creative people are very scatterbrained. So my job is to kind of keep you on track
Okay.
and also set up some steps so that we can kind of stay on pace.
Okay.
One thing I've learned is that I can be as excited for you as I want to be, but unless you're excited,
Absolutely.
I can't, I can only do so much.
Yeah.
So part of my introduction would be to make sure that I keep them excited about doing it.
That's great, because that is one of the things I used to always say to businesses. I can't be more excited about your business than you are.
Exactly.
You're going to be the best storyteller about your business and all of that. So now, in writing the business plans, because business plans can often be kind of just very ominous for small businesses. They just think it has to be this huge document that answers every question. So there's a fear around doing business plans. What are some of the key elements that they have to have for a business plan?
Typically, and this is the thing that I try to make sure everybody understands, is that it has to sound like you.
Okay.
I don't like getting into a whole bunch of verbiage that doesn't make any sense, a whole lot of fluff, as we would call it in college.
Right.
But if I'm a lender, a potential investor, if I meet you and I read your business plan and it doesn't sound anything like the person I met, then I'm really not investing in you. So my main thing is we want to make sure that our summary, our strategic summary is good. We want to make sure we have a defined mission.
Okay.
And what do you want to accomplish? What are you trying to make sure that your potential customers know about what you offer.
Okay.
And we pretty much can go from there.
Okay.
Financial things are always kind of icky. You know,
Yes.
people don't like numbers as much.
Right, right.
So we typically can get very creative with that.
Okay.
But like I said, if it sounds like something that you know how to make work, then we can pretty much work.
Okay. Now, so also with starting a business, especially for those new to a business or to a particular industry, and like you mentioned, the numbers, they don't have numbers yet. Do you help them on the research side of things to
I
try to
do.
get more accurate numbers?
I do. I do a lot of research because I'm just as excited as they are about
Okay.
their business. That's what I try to make sure they understand. Because a lot of, taking the step to pursue, your dreams of owning a business, it really does help to know that somebody is as excited as you are
Right.
about it.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that support structure, which is where the coaching aspect also comes in, then it's tough because it's tough out there. Jobs are scarce, so to branch off and do this takes a lot of faith. So my main thing is to help you with the research, but like I said, a lot of it's going to be on your account, but I'm here to help support you.
Okay.
So I'll do a lot of the research. I'll see what's possible out there, and we can get as innovative as we need to. Like I said, because if you feel it could work and if you could sell yourself, then it really takes somebody really to just buy into your dream with you.
Right, exactly. So now tying in the success coach side of it, once they kind of have that business plan, they're getting their business going, then how do you start working with them from to really truly be a success with their business?
Well, I always say I take you to day one of you opening your doors of your business.
Okay.
And at that point, we've done a lot of the background. So the idea is that once you've done a lot of the footwork, you kind of now are the owner. You kind of grow into that mode of being the entrepreneur that you always dreamed yourself to be. So at that point, what you really need is somebody now to kind of keep you on track,
Right.
to keep you motivated, because you've become the owner. You are the owner. We've gotten you to that point. So now what you need is somebody to kind of guide you through the unknown. And that's kind of where I tie it all in. We talk about what we've done so far. I think a lot of the enjoyment of being an owner is reflection. To know that you actually did it, you actually stepped out there, you made this work, you took the footwork and you did it.
Right.
So we take that energy and we just kind of spread it all through the introductory period, so to speak, of your business, and we go from there.
So now what are some of the challenges that you see small business facing, whether it's in developing their business plan or just in really getting things going with their business?
I always say that people are more afraid of success than failure.
I agree.
So the idea is that you've done it, you're doing it, you're making things happen, or you're trusting that things will happen, but you realize that you're doing it, and that's when you get scared,
Okay.
because you're like, how is this going to keep working?
Right.
How am I going to stay doing this?
Right.
And that's where you kind of have to have that support structure to say, it's not that you're afraid of failing, it's afraid that you're afraid of the next success period.
Right.
So I think that really ties in the idea of, okay, this is working, we've gotten this far. Let's keep up the momentum, let's keep doing this, let's keep making this work. And then we look at specifics. Okay, well, what are we doing that's working? Or what are we doing that's causing you to have a little anxiety?
Okay.
And we work through those stages. And as we do that, the momentum just keeps going.
Right, that's fantastic. Now, and then I can imagine with small businesses, especially because we're growing the income. You have to wear all these different hats. You've written it down in that business plan, all the different roles and positions. But a lot of times, as you fulfilling all those roles until your business can really grow to that next level to bring on staff and employees, what do you share with them as far as managing that time and wearing those different hats?
Well, basically, it's an idea of being okay with making mistakes.
Okay.
Nothing's perfect, and a lot of people feel that in order for something to work, it has to be flawless and it has to be perfect. But human beings, we learn a lot from failure as we do success, and it's really not necessarily failing. It's just you're stumbling here and there, and that's going to happen. So typically, with wearing those different hats, we look at realizing that we can't do it all on our own. A coaching comes into knowing that you need a team.
Right, exactly.
Even if it's not a team that's on a payroll, if it's a team that just gives you that motivational aspect, if it's somebody that makes you happy, if it's somebody that gives you that emotional energy that you need, let's keep that energy within within our circle.
Okay.
And that helps you out a lot because it kind of gives you something to continue to work for. This is the lifestyle that I like to have. I like to be able to take this time and do this when I want.
Right.
Instead of having to always, oh, I can't do this. I have to go off and make something else happen so I can fund this. So a lot of it really just depends on making sure you have the right people around you.
Okay.
You don't want people around you that's going to stop you, that's going to speak death into your business.
Right.
You can't have that.
Right. And so often when we think about our business, you mentioned about, there's really no such thing as failure. We just learn how not to do something.
Exactly.
But it's definitely all towards the ultimate success. And, and I know in our business that we've evolved our business, over the years and, looking at what is the market right now and how we're servicing it, what is our ultimate goal. Mm-hmm. And then, being comfortable with making those changes, even in some of the services that we offer. Now, when we look at that, talk about that from the respect of going back to your business plan and revising your business plan.
Oh, and that's very important. You always, and I typically, mention that to a lot of my customers as well, is that, every year I try to offer a revision.
Okay.
Because business, sometimes your goals can change.
Right.
And what you have to make sure is that the business that you're in hasn't changed since you started.
Mm-hmm.
And if it has changed, we want to make sure we account for either the addition or subtraction of the overall picture. Mm-hmm. Some things you learn as you go, and some things just change.
Right.
You can go from offering a service for a couple months to realizing that service is not working. Next thing you know, you realize, oh, I don't do that anymore. So that's where the revision comes in. You have to keep it updated.
Okay, good. So now, what other advice do you have for entrepreneurs in growing their business?
I would say advice would be, you have to have faith. Mm-hmm. I would be remiss if I didn't just tell you that's how I got started.
Yeah.
Figure out what you feel your calling is. Mm-hmm. And tap into that.
Mm-hmm.
You tap into your call and things are just going to start working.
Okay.
We always feel, well, we'll do this later on. Well, this will be something I do once I retire. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you're just called to do it right then. Okay. Something like Martin Luther King mentioned the urgency of now. Mm-hmm. When it's something you're called to do, it's not your time that you're working on. Yeah. So you have to make sure that you have that faith structure to say, if this is what I'm meant to do, things will work out so that I can do it.
Okay.
So definitely have someone in your life that's going to keep you spiritually motivated.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Great information. Now, of course, we want to make sure that you tell everyone how they can get in touch with you because we know some of you don't have those business plans. Some of you have business plans you did maybe 10 years ago and put it on the shelf and never looked at it again. So we know that you could definitely use Christopher's services. So tell everyone how they can reach out to you.
A lot of different ways. You can always email me at onewilliamsenterprises@gmail.com. Facebook, I'm on Facebook.
Okay.
Facebook.com/Williams Inc. Also, I also have my website, williams-inc.net. Okay. So those are the main ways, and I'm pretty fast with getting back to you because I'm eager to work with you as you are to work with me. Absolutely. So that's the main thing.
Good. Thank you so much, Christopher. Everyone, we hope that you got some nuggets that you can take away today. But if nothing, make sure that you're looking at that business plan, as Christopher suggested. He looks at revamping it or revisiting it at least annually to look at how you may need to tweak that. So definitely please reach out to Christopher. Christopher, we appreciate you coming on today.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone. Please be sure to go back to our archives. You can watch the show again on demand at www.bizlinks.tv. Remember, you can also check out our shows on our YouTube channel, so please go out and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can stay up to date on new episodes as they're released. And for those that are watching at home on their TVs, you can find us on Roku as well. So please make sure that you reach out to us and provide us comments when you're on our YouTube channel. Let us know what you think. Ask any questions of our guests. We'll make sure that they get to them as well. Thank you again for another episode joining us here at That's My Biz. I'm Pamela Alexander, your host. And remember, we want to expose your business to the world. Thank you for joining us. Today's show can be viewed on demand on our website at www.bizlinks.tv. If you are interested in having your products, services, or special cause showcased on our program, submit an inquiry to that'smybiz@bizlinks.tv. In addition, information on advertising and hosting your own show can be found on our website at bizlinks.tv.